Good Thursday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith on the almost midway mark to this month. We're at the 15th of January 2015. We have light winds and mostly cloudy skies this morning across the region. They range anywhere from about 2,500 up to 4,500 feet. These are stratocumulus clouds, which are locked in under a temperature inversion, and we'll show the sounding for that in just a moment. Mostly cloudy skies just about everywhere. A few areas here out on eastern Long Island are clear. Interior sections are more cloudier than everywhere else, and as a result of the clouds, the temperatures are holding anywhere from the upper teens to the low and mid 20s across the region. The exception would be out on in the Hudson River Valley, where skies are clear here on the south shore of Connecticut and also on eastern Long Island. The temperatures have been able to radiate under calm conditions and clear skies early this morning. And as of 7:25 this morning, we find a few temperatures still in Sussex County around 8 degrees in Walpack, 13 here in Lafayette, 12 at High Point State Park, also in Passaic County and Bergen County at Ramsey at 17, 19 degrees at Hawthorne or Horwith, and also here in northern Morris County, Charlottesburg coming in at 17. Other temperatures generally running in the low to the mid and upper 20s across the region. A few 30s here on Harvey Cedars here, out on Ocean County here, and also in Atlantic County at Atlantic City Marina this morning at 30 degrees. And they had a little light snow here in West Cape May yesterday, 31 degrees right now this morning. Take a look at some of the minimum temperatures this morning. They were still basically in the teens across interior sections of northern New Jersey and in the low and mid 20s just about everywhere else. And morning pass of the visible satellite this morning shows a little bit of the low stratocumulus clouds across certain areas here in western Pennsylvania, eastern Pennsylvania, most of interior New Jersey. A few exceptions here, southern New Jersey and also at the Hudson River Valley, southern Connecticut and Long Island, where skies are clearer. And as a result of that, the air is pretty dry across the region too, not too much lifting here. And as a result, the clouds will probably give way. We have a short wave moving through western Pennsylvania this morning, and a little bit of drier air coming into the west of that, so skies should brighten up during this afternoon. Watches, warnings, and advisories. The only ones we have are on the ocean fronts here along the New Jersey coast. Small craft advisories until 1 o'clock this afternoon for west winds at 10 to 15 knots, gust up to 20 knots, seas 5 to 6 feet. Also, we're going to extend these watches for later tonight and into tomorrow morning as well. We have small craft advisories from 9 p.m. to 6 p.m. And this would be for west to northwest winds at 15 to 20 knots, gust up to 25 knots or 30 knots during tonight and Friday, and the seas basically between 4 to 6 feet. South shores of Long Island, here we have small craft advisories from 9 tonight till 6 p.m. Friday. West winds at 15 to 25 knots, gust up to 30 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet. Also here on the south shores of Long Island, we have also small craft advisories this morning, and these will be from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Friday for west winds at 10 to 20 knots, gust up to 30 knots, and seas basically 2 to 4 feet. Wind speeds and seas remained below small craft advisories on the Delaware Bay for today and tonight. A cold frontal passage Friday afternoon could lead to winds to particularly seas reaching small craft criteria later Friday and Friday night. Some gale gust also can't be ruled out on Friday night. Winds and seas are expected to remain below the advisory threshold since Saturday. And of course on Sunday, a low pressure system expected to move into the region. Uncertainty regarding the intensity and placement. Small craft advisory conditions look probable on Sunday in the southwesterly flow, with models indicating some warmer air advecting in over the colder sea surface temperatures, leading to a temperature inversion and gale force winds just about to the surface. Thus, there is currently a low probability of gales on Sunday, but there is some likelihood in the northwest flow on the backside of the system, which is expected to reach the coastal waters on Monday. On the aviational weather deck this morning, the clouds expected to be slow to break today. The ceilings over our region should be varying between 3,500 and 5,000 feet. Some MVFR ceilings around 2,500 feet will linger around Millville and Atlantic City till about later this morning. The cloud cover is forecast to become scattered gradually during the later morning and afternoon. And VFR conditions are anticipated for tonight with a partly cloudy sky, a northwest to west wind with less than 10 knots expected for today. The wind should back to the west-southwest for tonight, similar speeds. Friday and Saturday VFR conditions expected. Friday northwest winds gust to 20 to 25 knots at the terminals, and then MVFR possible on Sunday and Monday in showers and snow showers across the region. Right now at Newark we have VFR 27, dew point 17, humidity 66%. The wind is north at about 9, overcast at 4,000 feet, and the wind chill at about 18. Again, winds backing around from the west-southwest and getting a little gusty late tonight and early tomorrow morning with VFR conditions in place. Some of these areas here are in MVFR right now, but that should improve during the morning. Philadelphia is in VFR right now, 30 degrees, dew point 21, humidity 69%. The wind is out of the west at 7, overcast at about 5,500, and again, VFR conditions for today. High resolution rapid refresh model, precipitation and cloud type across the region. Well, we have subsidence inversion right now, temperature inversion, and stratocumulus clouds breaking up this afternoon. A little bit more of those hanging tough later this morning across central and southern New Jersey, and then everybody starts to clear out. Temperatures today still on the chilly side, getting into the mid and upper 30s. The normal highs between 35 and 40, so we're gaining some warmer temperatures. It's not going to be a bad day at all out there with lighter winds as well, backing around to the southwest. NAM 2-meter temperatures off the Penn State Ewald site shows today we get into the 30s, upper 20s over the interior sections. Tonight back into the 20s. Cold front comes through tomorrow. Temperatures still getting above freezing, mid and upper 30s around the region, few upper 20s in the later afternoon. And the cold air advection begins to win out. A strong area of high pressure moves over southeastern Canada and then off of the New England coast. We're dealing with temperatures back into the teens as we approach midnight or so on Friday, and then in the teens and basically everywhere else on Saturday morning at sunrise. And Saturday afternoon could be a much colder day here. Temperatures running anywhere from around 20 to 28 degrees across the entire New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area. The coldest air, of course, across northwestern and interior sections, the Hudson Valley, and the warmer temperatures across the south towards the Delmarva. Notice these temperatures here are very, very cold. This will be moving away from the region. Temperatures back into the 40s, possibly even close to 50 degrees, will be moving in our direction for Sunday, but even that day will be brief. Probably be the only day where we're going to have any considerable kind of warming above normal here. Updated GFS forecast maps. So GFS has been upgraded and operational since the 12Z1 yesterday. This is the precipitation type and also the pressure gradient here, or pressure here, as we move into the forecast region across the area. Here comes the cold front, and that moves through the area. Colder air building in again. Notice the thicknesses are all lower than 540 here to the Delmarva, so cold air on Friday night and Saturday definitely in place with high pressure building over the region. Dry conditions. Comes another frontal system and a wave of low pressure developing along the Carolina coast. Now, most of the models, even the CMC, indicating most of this could be slightly east of the area, but definitely the chance of rain, especially eastern sections during Sunday night and Monday morning. Moves out and deepens over the coastal waters of southern New England. Could be a formidable amount of snow over the interior sections of New England, but not for us. Then more high pressure builds in, cold air, dry air in place for early next week. And it looks like a few disturbances coming in from off the Great Lakes as high pressure builds across the upper Great Lakes into the St. Lawrence River Valley here. And that continues to be our predominant weather feature through early next week with just some spokes of snow showers or plumes coming over. Next couple of days beyond that look like they could be providing basically frontal passages and no storm phasing here. We don't see anything major here happening on the weather maps, and this would bring us all the way out to the 10-day period. Just frontal passages. This looks interesting. Closer to the end of the month, we could have a coastal storm developing here, and as such, that could be providing us with some snow. But again, this is 10 days away, and we have not seen any changes in the NAO or in some of the other features as well. The only change we've really seen is some of the warming in the stratosphere beginning to work down to the top layers of the troposphere, but right now the models aren't probably going to be handling that too well this far into the future. And this is the current state of the stratosphere near the top here. Here's our polar vortex. It's back up towards the circle here, the Arctic Circle. We have a very active jet stream through, well, this is in the stratosphere. We'll show you the actual jet stream at 250 millibars in a minute. Here is our high pressure here over the west coast, actually over Western Europe here and into Asia. And this is sort of stratospheric warming. And again, everything, we need this polar vortex to drop a little bit further to the south, and we need the QBO to weaken just a little bit, and that will provide the jet streak to weaken a little bit in the Pacific, and that will improve our conditions for getting storm phases here along the east coast, but we're not seeing that just yet. Prime example of that is our strong jet stream here over the Pacific. We do have high pressure, which is starting to win out and build across the western United States, which is where we want to see this feature. But in order to get this polar vortex and its cousin here over the Hudson's Bay, it needs to drop a little bit further south, get a little bit more buckling here, and also for this jet streak here to weaken so that we can amplify the pattern and get storms going up with phasing along the eastern seaboard. But right now, as all of this is transpiring, it's going to take a while for the models to really get ramped up on this idea. Probably looking at later January and hopefully February for some kind of snowstorms here on the East Coast, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen within the next 5 to 10 days. Did notice there were some microphone problems this morning. Again, I do apologize for that. For everything live, it's Garden State Weather, gardenstateweather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You make it a good Thursday, and do bundle up tomorrow, and Saturday will definitely be cold. Sunday will be the exceptional rule at or above normal for this time of the year, and then back into the cold air we go for next week. For everything live, it's gardenstateweather.com. I'm forecaster Robert Smith.